Welcome back to Minor League Esports. We have the third and final game on stream tonight for Saturday Showdown. I'm ZB, he is Term, and we have some Champ League action, Bears and Rhinos. This should be great.
It's going to be a good one. The Rhinos came out hot last week. The Bears not as much. Both teams trying to get the wins this week to really keep their season afloat.
Absolutely. You are right about that, Terminator, and we are ready to get underway. We are still at Utopia Coliseum, and it is still snowing. The weather has not changed. You have to shout out the Rocket League car mechanics for keeping the cars afloat despite the weather. And you also have to shout out KC for scoring right off of the kickoff.
Great job to land correctly off the kickoff there. Sometimes if you don't land those right, you don't get the opportunity. He does and gives the Rhinos a quick 1-0 lead.
The astute observer will notice that both Methonian and KC are wearing the iconic Rhino horns on the roof of their car. My question, are you allowed to play for the Rhinos without the Rhinos horn? That's a secret probably only they know. Methonian, great shot. Executor, great save. Casey putting it back on. Executor with another touch going out. So we do have the Bears and the Rhinos. Longtime fans of MLE will know that the Rhinos were the Season 9 Champion League champion, and they are getting started right where they left off.
Yes, they are. Methonian, great job going up for that ball, getting it to go just inside the near post, and the Rhinos, quick 2-0 lead.
Many people ask what happened to the Rhinos. The answer to that question is a whole lot. They are off to a great start. Executor, what a shot. Ladies and gentlemen, open up your balls, Garana. We had a great shot early in game one.
Great play by Executor. He shows why he is the highest salary player on either of these teams, between the ones playing and not playing. He has so many technical abilities, great mechanics, and he shows them all off right there. That is definitely a Play of the Week nominee.
I was kind of thinking if the Bears waited, to really get things going, it might be too little too late and the Rhinos would be able to do a lot of damage. But it was the Bears who got things going quickly. Right after the Rhinos were able to get 2 goals. So the Bears right back in this one. It is Opfu and Executor representing the Bears tonight. And as you've seen, Methonian and KC, the well-known Rhino himself, playing for the Bears or for the Rhinos tonight in Champ League. A tale of 2 teams to start this season. The Bears dropping all 5 games in match 1 against the Pirates. They faced a very good Pirates lineup and dropped all 5 of their games. The Rhinos taking 4 games away from the Outlaws in game 1. So these teams, as it is often early in the season, they are division rivals. Both teams playing in the Sun Division in the Orange Conference. And as we always say, these games very important when they are against a division opponent.
Every game in general is important, but especially against a division opponent. You want to be able to get these tiebreakers. You play them so much that every game really does count.
Really good attempt there by Methonian. Casey, did he put that one in his own goal? Luckily not. That one goes off the brick wall of the Coliseum. Great outlet pass from Executor. Opfu, top 90. My goodness, top cheddar. What a goal.
Great goal and great pass by Executor to set that up. Opfu, upper 90. This game is tied, and the Bears, they're trying to go for the first win in the season.
They are. Opfu put that man on skates. Methonian was sitting right there in the middle of the goal. So it was smart from Opfu to put that one behind the defender. Usually a smart play there. Good fake by Opfu without the boost. Left that one to his opponent. And luckily was able to get just enough in the way to make sure that Casey was not able to touch that one. Op the security on the wall with the boost, challenges but misses, so it's Executor who's going to have a soft touch. Opfu gets a demo, so it's a 2-on-1 for the time being. Executor slow this one is able to get it past one. Can he get it past two? He can. Can he get another touch? That one goes out to Opfu, who elects to put it to the side. It bounces back in center. Great game so far. Could go either way.
Lots of great opportunities. Oh, and that one, not as great of an opportunity, but a mistake from the Rhinos, proving very costly. Casey just stops going backwards, and Executor gets the goal.
This seems weird, but I have been in the position where I forget which button is forward and which button is reverse. I don't know if Casey found himself in that situation, but sometimes you can just like freeze and like forget what to do. So I think that was just a miscalculation mechanically there by him. Hopefully it does not cost the Rhinos. You hate to see that, but the Bears on a 3-0 run. If you're with us at MLE Esports for the first time, this is the Champ League. It is for salaries 13 through 14.5, so that's roughly low Champ 2s to middle of the road Champ 3s. So this is very high competition, not quite Grand Champs that we see in the Premier League, but still very high quality players, and a lot of these players, you know, honing their skills so that they can play in Premier League in the near future.
Absolutely. These players, they have so much skill and a lot to prove. A lot of them feel like they should be grand champs. A great save there by Executor to keep this game alive for the Bears.
And to be fair, there's certainly a lot of platinum players who feel should be grand champs as well.
I definitely do. I definitely do.
Right, I'm saying it's definitely a real thing. You just need better teammates, which there are great teammates to be found in minor league esports. Mythonian pushing this one forward. Not a lot of time on the clock for the Rhinos. That one's dangerous. Opfu with the dangerous pinch off his own back wall, but he saves it, and he's able to clear this away from danger. Few seconds left for the Rhinos. Casey centering it for Mythonian, but it's Executor who's able to dive in. That one touches the ground. Upset, perhaps, but the Bears get their first win of the season against the 4-1 Rhinos.
Great play by the Bears. They ended up getting 4 saves that game. Huge saves. You saw the chemistry between Executor and Opfu. They were passing. They were shooting well. The rotations were great. Everything they did helped result in that win there.
Yeah, really not the scoreline I was expecting just based on the stat line. 9 shots to 4 for the Bears. So just one of those odd things, you know, where you're just not able to capitalize on those offensive opportunities. And the Bears did a lot of good things. You mentioned their 4 goals. That's the difference maker. Opfu, you just saw the clip, or we saw the clip at least on the replay montage where he was able to put that shot behind the defender, which ended up giving the Bears the lead and the victory. So the Bears, they've got to be feeling themselves, vibing, as term once said earlier on this broadcast. Bears fans have got to be fired up.
They are definitely vibing. But the one scary thing for the Bears there, they were outshot that game 4-9. They really I don't think you can rely on a 75% clip shooting accuracy to keep going. But we'll see what happens. They definitely have the skill to keep it up. And if they can get some more shots on goal, I think they have a great chance to keep it up.
We have a lobby issue, so we are going to have to back out of here and get back into this one. Kind of a funny circumstance. So we're going to take a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We had some extra people on the field there. Sometimes that happens, but we are ready for the start of game 2. It is Rhinos, it is Bears. It is Champion League action in minor league esports. The Bears, the Rhinos rather, with the upset on paper. Um Judging just by the records, but it is early. You can't always judge by those. It is the Bears who are able to take a early series lead, but just like in game 1, the Rhinos score off the kickoff.
Yeah, this one took a little bit longer than last game. This one took 3 seconds. Game 1, it only took 2. But Mythalonian makes the Bears pay. Quick answer to that upset.
Zyda will probably be having these players work on kickoffs in the interim between this week and next week. Executor, good job to keep that one off of the backboard. So often in Champ League, players know that they can create a good scoring opportunity if they're able to put that ball off the backboard. So, that's countered by having good backboard defense, which Executor did show there, and another good clear. Mythonian has the touch. Executor booms it forward. Opfu is low on boost, so he's going to elect to go to the back boost. This one is high. I'm not sure who's going to have the first touch. It is Executor again with a high-flying goal.
Executor, great mechanics there, going up high, getting there before KC does, and upper bins. Great goal to tie this game up.
Absolutely. A very the stinky cheese is where they put that on the top shelf. Obfu, great car control there to have a really good touch there. KC did a really good job to stop that shot. And Obfu again with a really good touch. I like what I'm seeing from the Bears. They are taking everything that the Rhinos give them, and they are handling it with ease. That man got a bump in the air, but unfortunately, KC gets a touch, and that one is in. A great play from Executor, but an even better clear from KC.
Yeah, KC, he realizes that Obfu is too far up, and he makes him pay. KC giving the Rhinos a very big 2-1 lead a minute in.
Had that ball just had a little bit more pace, that would have been the perfect play from Executor. Almost another kickoff goal for the Rhinos. So the Bears maybe need to do something a little bit different on their kickoffs. That ball was killed in the middle for a minute. It's going to be Obfu on the back ball. He over accelerates it there. Luckily, Executor was there to touch that one away, and he does clear it to the midfield, but Mythonian has boost. Obfu with the boost. I don't believe his teammate does. This is awkward. Obfu went for the bump, and Executor low on boost, but is able to put his car in a position to clear that one away. Obfu bumps Mythonian. He gets the demo. Can they get a goal? They cannot. KC, the physicality in this one has really picked up.
Definitely. We have seen a lot of bumps, a lot of demos, a lot of plays leading to that, but Mythalonian, no bumps required on that one. Just a little fake by KC, and just able to get the final touch to barely beat the Bears. No pun intended. Really, no pun intended. But the Rhinos lead 3-1.
I certainly do have to appreciate that one. And I think this is kind of more what I expected from the Rhinos. A lot of good pressure, a lot of good team play, using your teammate to your team's advantage. KC drawing back and getting a bump there, which should make this a pretty easy defensive possession. The Bears, they're doing a lot of good things. They're just not able to quite catch the Rhinos in a bad spot. Maybe taking that extra pass, or sometimes deciding to slow things down a little bit or take advantage of counters will be what they need. Obfu touching that one away, and he's going to be the first one to this ball. Touches it past Mythonian into the midfield, but there's KC there to catch it, to dribble it away. Executor, he's proficient in the air, goes for a little bit of fake. Mythonian went high, KC went low. That is smart, and it leads to a fast break. Mythonian misses, though. You can't have that if you're the Rhinos, but the Bears, they might need to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, luckily the Rhinos do have the lead, so right now that missed opportunity will not cost them. Will it bite them later in the game? We will see, but Mythalonian, it all, and it all ends well for the Rhinos. He's able to go up for that ball, gets a great touch with the front of his car,
Yeah,
and it's 4-1 Rhinos.
he certainly does a really good touch in the air there. You love to see that from him. The Rhinos doing what they do best, and that is score and score off an executor. Touching that one high, you have to wonder if Opfu is going to be able to get it. He touches it far post, isn't able to control it though. I know what he was trying to do. It was pretty cheeky. Just wasn't able to quite control it. Executor is there. Mythonian touches it back to his, or tries to 50 it, but it was Executor who's able to touch it up. Good touch by Obfu. He's going to try to air dribble it. Gets an interesting touch there, up and over the defender. Mythonian luckily gets a touch to keep it away from danger. Time is ticking away from the Bears. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to win game 2.
Yeah, they need to get a goal quickly, and right here, maybe a chance at a counter, but no one's there to touch it. KC makes them pay. It's 5-1 Rhinos.
Yeah,
What a great response from this team.
Made it awkward for the defense. Executor looked like he was trying to dodge quickly into that ball and just dodged too late, or was driving too quickly. Unfortunately, that's going to cost them, and I think that might be the lead that the Rhinos need. Mythonian up is just going to clear that one away. Executor trying to force it, and I think in this game, that might be the problem that the Bears are having. They're trying to put the ball on target as soon as they can, but the first touch isn't always the best touch. I'd rather the Bears, try to create some opportunities, create space, create openings, and use that chemistry to their advantage. There's an opportunity for obscurity. Big atomic explosion. Is it too little too late? Time will tell.
Big explosion, bigger goal. The Bears, they get one to keep them in the game, and at worst, give them a little bit more confidence going into game 3.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes it's about, it's more about, it's less about just this game, and the entire series is what's important. So if the Bears can just get a little bit of momentum going into the next game, that might be worth it in the long run. The Rhinos doing such a great job, it might be too much to overcome in this one. But, the Bears have the advantage of being able to take game 1. So you have to wonder if they'll still be able to use that as a confidence builder, plus the late success in game 2 into the rest of the series. But the Rhinos looking very solid in this game, taking a very strong lead and looking good in game 2.
Absolutely. They answered the call. The Bears, a little bit shocking win game 1. I don't think the Rhinos were expecting that kind of performance out of the Bears, but the Rhinos learned their lesson. They came back. They even up the series. Great win for them.
Yeah, Rhinos, honestly, I don't think changed a lot from game 1 to game 2. I think they just executed a little bit better. The Bears probably made more mistakes in game 2. So I think, more often than not, the Rhinos are going to take more games. So the Bears are going to have to find a way to recreate a lot of the things that they did in game 1, really shore up their defense and create those opportunities on the offensive end. The chat has been talking about it, that Casey and Mythonian have a ton of chemistry. These guys have been on the same team for as long as I can remember, certainly in my entire time in MLE. So they have certainly that advantage, which leads to one of the main reasons they were able to find so much success in season 9 and already so far in season 10, taking their 5th victory in 7 games.
Yeah, very impressive showing from them, and they have a chance to keep it going right now. As we enter game 3, the Rhinos, can they score right off the kickoff again? They do not. So already a better start for the Bears than the last couple games.
Yes, not allowing a kickoff goal is a great thing, and will hopefully lead to success, especially if you are a fan of the Bears. I think I may have seen Zaida in the chat earlier, so I know that he is watching and very excited about this one. Executor Gets it around Casey, who does a good job of challenging that one. Obscurity doesn't really have control of the ball, had to push it away to the mid. Something I noticed about the Bears, they they aren't challenging as quickly as I think they would want, and that is certainly what led to that goal.
Definitely KC here. He realizes that Myth gave a little bump. I'm not sure if he hit on the bump or if it was just a little fake, but Casey able to convert it and give the Rhinos a 1-0 lead for the third straight game.
Hey, there is that Rhinos kickoff goal that we were talking about. Didn't come on the first one, but it did come on the second. I guess it doesn't matter when it comes as long as it does, and it did right there. Rhinos, quick 2-0 lead.
Yeah, 45 seconds too late for the Rhinos, but for them it doesn't matter when they get it. The Bears, though, definitely do need to work on these kickoffs if they want to stop this from consistently happening.
Yeah, and there's another opportunity. Methonian just with a little, not the touch that he was looking for. I was talking about the Bears earlier and how I feel like their lack of pressure is kind of costing them. The more you sit back, it's obviously, it's good to be in a good defensive position, but when you both sit back and no one pressures, it just allows the Rhinos to get possession of the ball and close that space. Methonian had the ball on that first goal, and Casey noticed the situation, and he just charged ahead to get a bump on the goaltender. So if the Bears can do a better job of just continually be moving and pressuring the ball, that's what they're going to have to do to beat the Rhinos.
Absolutely right there. Good bump attempt, but Abfu did not go straight for the ball, and it is going to cost the Bears a goal. Myth punishing the little hesitation from the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears were trying to do what the Rhinos had just done earlier, which was get that bump on the goaltender. The problem is, if you don't get the bump, it turns onto a 2-on-1 very quickly, and that last defender has already committed to the offense. So if you don't get the bump, it's going to often lead to a goal going the other way. Good chance by the Bears, but the Rhinos defense just too good. Executor not getting the touch that he needed, so Abfu kind of has to bail and just put this one into the corner. He is high on the backboard, gets the touch. He's going to need another one to clear that away from danger. He does. The Rhinos, they are very comfortable giving offensive pressure. Casey with no regard for human life as he's just diving in there, missing at times, but the Rhinos just rotating through so quickly that it doesn't matter, and the ball just goes in eventually.
Myth, great demo there on Abfu. Abfu had no way to get back in the play as he was not even in the game, and Myth makes him pay. This game is running away right now, a stampede for the Rhinos.
Yeah, the Bears looked as if they had a lot of life in that first game, were able to take a game away from KC and Methonian, but ever since then, it's been all Rhinos all the time. They feel very comfortable pressuring the ball, winning 50s, getting good challenges, and the Bears just can't say the same. They do look a little uncomfortable. I think really if they could just get one goal, that might kind of boost their confidence a little and make them a little bit more comfortable. I'm just worried if that first goal is going to come too little too late.
Yeah, last game they got that confidence goal, but it was with 45 seconds left down for. Right now we're in the same kind of situation. The Bears need one right there, a chance, but not able to get it to go. They need one to go their way right now.
Uh-oh. A little miscommunication there. Executor getting too many touches on the ball. Touches it straight back to Casey, who gets his third goal of the game. Throw your hats on the pitch because KC has a hat trick.
Well, we said the Bears needed to set up a goal, but not for the Rhinos. Casey, all he had to do was get to that ball first. Wide open net. And unfortunately, I don't see the Bears coming back in this one.
Yeah, you do have to try to get creative and create those scoring opportunities because they're not coming normally. But you can't overcommit. You can't expose yourself on the defensive end. Double commit there. I wonder if part of the reason is these players for the Bears aren't trusting each other the way that they should be.
Yeah, and part of that goes back to the chemistry. Myth and Casey thank you, chat, for telling me this, but they are actually brothers.
Yes.
They have lived together as long as, well, each of them remember. They probably have been playing Rocket League for about the same amount of time too, probably playing a lot of twos. So this chemistry that they have, very strong, and it is on full display right now. And the Bears, no matter how much you practice, so far this season has only been about 1 month since the draft, and 1 month does not compare to years of gameplay together.
No, that's certainly true. We've talked about the Rhinos' success in the Champ League. With this lineup is a big part of it, and that is showing again. So the Bears trying to get a goal, and despite their best efforts, the Rhinos just seem to be at the right place at the right time. From bad to worse is that ball just ping-pongs off the ground and the ceiling and into the goal. Nothing the Bears can do seem to be going their way as of late. 6-0 for the Rhinos.
Well, this sibling rivalry, let me tell you, it's about as close as possible. Each has 3 goals, each right around 830 points. Who gets the MVP? That's going to be a question.
Yeah, we will know that certainly soon. They are not letting up. They're continuing to put the offensive onslaught. Goal differential, they know, matters for playoff qualification, playoff seeding, and the like. So as soon as this ball touches, we will be out of game 3, and we are. So just like that, after dropping game 1, the Rhinos take the next 2 and in dominant fashion have a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Bears come back from this. They got kind of blown out in game 2, but this game 3 was a whole different beast for the Bears. They really need to get it going if they want to be able to win this series, let alone another game.
Yeah, if I was, coaching the Bears or just giving them any advice, I would say, like the Rhinos are obviously as big of a test as you can get in Champ League. Um, so you just have to play the game that you know how. Even if it doesn't feel like you can, you have to believe that you can trust your teammates, trust them on defense, trust them to rotate through, trust them to get the ball to you when you're open, and trust that you're going to be able to get the ball to them when they're open. And if you're able to play as a team, the Rhinos are going to have to beat that, which is very difficult. So as we go into game 4, that is what I'm going to be looking for.
Yeah, both these teams, they do have to learn to trust each other. As well, the Bears, they have to learn how to trust each other out there. And these players, they're champ for a reason. They are good players. They are able to convert a lot of opportunities. So you just have to allow them to do that. You have to be able to say, you know what? I believe in you. You got this, and just go out there and make plays. But right now, I just don't think they have the confidence.
Right, and it might be one of those situations that I alluded to earlier where if they can somehow find an early goal and get a lead on this Rhinos team, or maybe make a big play on the defensive end and score one on the offensive end, that might get them going. But unfortunately, they're not able to, as KC has a really good touch on the ball and then recovers well. No one in net, so that was an easy goal.
Yeah, not many chances are more wide open than that. Casey just had to give it a little touch into the net, but 30 seconds in, the Rhinos once again have an early lead.
Yeah, they do. Rhinos have a propensity to not only score early, but also score often. Executor getting a goal there. He might have an opportunity to play this one off the back wall or off the ceiling. Pass out to Off Security, but unfortunately it goes too high. Off Security is going to be able to turn on this one. Doesn't have a lot of boost to get up for that one. Mythonian just has to touch it to the corner. Bears a little bit out of control. I know they're wanting to create those offensive opportunities, but I do feel like they're trying to force things too much. If they just settle down, that might be better for them. And unfortunately, it cost them on the backside.
Yeah, Myth pre-jumped that. He read that perfectly and was able to go touch that ball first. Great read by him. Great pass by KC as well.
Yeah, Rhinos really impressive, showing why they were the champions of the Champ League last season and showing why um, it doesn't actually look like they are on the Champ League power rankings at the start of week 2. So they might have something to prove here. Power ranking committee, I hope you are watching this one because this looks like a very good lineup. The Bears, though, showing what they are made of. Finally on the board again, it is Executor with a good goal pass from Obfu.
We've seen the Bears have a lot of chances, but this time they're finally able to execute, pun intended. Great job by the Bears to get this back within 1. There's still 3.5 minutes left, lots of time to come back.
Yeah, there is a lot of movement in the power rankings in the Champ League. The top 9 teams moving up from their previous spots, and the top team, the Sharks, moving down. So you have to wonder if there's a little uncertainty, but after this performance from the Rhinos, if they're able to keep it up, this plus week 1, you would certainly think that they would have to appear in the top 10, but I digress. There is action on the field, and is it action? Executor up high, doesn't have a lot of boost to do anything with this one. It's Casey diving in there and just booming this one. If I didn't know better, I might think that Casey actually is a boomer, the way that he booms that ball around. Executor pushing that one forward, and there's Casey again. Casey just having the tendency to just put the ball left and right, forward or backward, just trying to keep it away from the Bears. At this point, it is working.
Absolutely. The Bears, though, they are on the attack, and great save by Myth to keep this game 2-1. The Bears, their shots have not been as great of quality as the Rhinos shots. The Rhinos have been getting a lot to go their way, but right here, a great chance by Executor. Saved by Myth, follow up by Obfu. That's a goal. This game is tied.
This is what I knew the Bears were capable of. Executor is the type of player who's able to set up this scoring chance, and Obfu is the type of player who's able to finish it. Methonian had the touch that he needed. The only way you're going to stop that shot from Executor is getting up and just touching it away. Obfu had a read on it. He finished it. You hope that the Bears can turn this into perhaps a lead here in Game 4.
Yeah, great demo by Obfu there. They had a 2-on-1 chance, but KC able to get back in time to make a save. The Bears right now are looking very dangerous on offense. Executor, lots of confidence with the ground pinch. Doesn't get it to go, but the confidence right now for the Bears. You have not seen this the last couple games. They are flying high. They could really do this.
They certainly are. A little mix-up there by the Bears. And despite the performance from the Rhinos in Game 2 and 3, this series has not yet been decided. If the Bears take Game 3, they will force a rubber match in Game 5. KC had better ideas. Reading that bounce off the ceiling ground shot, that's kind of cheeky. Sometimes players put that straight on net. KC put it onto the ground to get the tough off. The Bears defender not able to save it. Only 75 seconds remaining. The Rhinos back on top.
Yeah, great shot by the Rhinos. They knew they had to come back. The Bears had all the momentum right there. So great job to stop that, get that lead back, and put the Bears back in desperation mode.
I'm sure you've noticed both Rhinos players have like have a skin that like looks like a rhino. That is absolutely crazy. I've never noticed that before. But again, I love when players dress up for the brand, show their team spirit. It is incredible. 40 seconds remaining for the Bears. Oh, they're in a tough spot. The goaltender getting bumped. You can't make a save if you are not in position. KC made sure that that was the case, and Methonian cleans it up.
Yeah, and Myth 2, great placement on the shot.
Yeah.
Near post, upper 90. That takes a lot of skill. If that's just a tiny bit off high, a tiny bit off too far right, that ball could be going the opposite way for a counterattack. So great placement there.
Executor has to be frustrated. He has had so many good shots in this series, and so often it's Methonian in goal. who is shooting the ball away. He has 5 saves in this game alone. Don't know how many he has for the series, but it has to be a lot. Time ticking away for the Bears. They have to score with at least 1 second on the clock. They're not going to. Exclamation point for the Rhinos, perhaps nearly. The Rhinos take game 4. They take the series, and they still have 1 more to play.
Yes, they do. The Bears looked a lot better that game, though.
They
They
did.
have a lot of positives to take away from it. The Rhinos, just too much offensively, though. And even defensively, Myth came up big, making 5 saves that game.
It's insane.
Just great. Absolutely insane. Great play all around from the Rhinos. That is why they are the cream of the crop in Champions League.
Yeah, it is very impressive. The defending champions, starting right where they left off, dropping game 1, but not letting that slow them down since then, have been dominant. And you have to talk about the Bears because they put themselves in a great position in that game. They weren't able to finish it out. So they are going to be desperate to win a game, this last one of the series, to make this a respectable scoreline at the very least. You do not want to continue to drop games, but they have a tough task ahead of them against a team and a lineup as good as the Rhinos and Methonian and KC.
Yeah, everything's just going for them. The chemistry, the passing plays, the saves, everything. And it's tough to beat a team like that. No matter what you do, you feel like it's not enough. And unfortunately, the Bears just are stuck in that position right now.
Yeah, the Bears, they're either they either don't seem to be working in sync, or whenever they are working in sync, it's just the Rhinos are in the spot to make things difficult for them. So that is a tough combination and certainly frustrating. When things do go well, you feel like it's the Rhinos who are right there to say not so fast, my friend. But the great thing about Rocket League is when you start a new game, the scoreboard reads 0-0 and the past results don't matter. So the Bears are going to try to find a early lead and keep it off obscurity. Diving in there, but to not successful because he wasn't able to get a touch. So that leaves him a little vulnerable on the back end, and he can't get back on the. Oh, he does. He hits it straight into the post, and it is out. But Methonian puts it in a position where he can't save it. It took them a couple chances, but Rhinos doing what they do best and taking an early lead.
Abfu so close on the save, but it hit the post, came back out, and Myth just had to tap it into the net. And once again, the Rhinos, they continuously have came out quick all series. I'm pretty sure they have scored the first goal all 5 games.
That is a great recipe for success. We will have to get our stats team on that to see if that is true. It feels right. It feels right. And it feels like the Rhinos cannot be stopped. Afu wanted the better touch there. He did not get it. Less than a minute into this game. And the Rhinos have another goal. They seem to be scoring at a very proficient rate.
Absolutely 2-0 lead. Again, just quick scores, and the Bears have no response. When you continuously score quick, you feel like every game, okay, it's a new start, new chance to get going, and then you give up a quick one. Oh my, Casey. But there's nothing you can do when it's just so disheartening when you keep giving up quick goals.
What a fake there by Methonian. Had he got a touch, he may have even got a touch. That ball was moving so fast, I couldn't even tell. Regardless, that ball goes down to KC, who his car is just a little paddle. It's incredible that he's able to use that. You would think if it touches the ball, it would just snap in half. It's so thin, but he uses it to his advantage, like a wizard, like a magical rhino, if you will. He's going to turn on this one and bang it to the side. Good job there to keep it away from the Bears. And I think that's something that the Rhinos are doing. They feel so in control of this game that they're aware of their surroundings, and they're able, like where Casey did there, just to turn on the ball because he knew that he could and he had an opening to score, and he does. Great job by the Rhinos in this dominating performance.
Great job by Casey to put that ball in the bottom corner, but I'm still thinking, what is a magical Rhino, ZB? I am curious. Is that like a unicorn?
It's similar. It's a little different because it's not like a unicorn is very clearly a horse. A magical rhino is just a rhino, but with, certain powers. And KC definitely showing the powers that he has. That's the hat trick. 3 goals on 6 shots, and we're not even 2 minutes into this one. Bears are going to need to get this together quick if they want any chance at tying this game.
These magical Rhinos must be able to fly because Casey went up for that ball and was able to put it in the back of the net. Great save by Casey, but not enough. Abfu follows it up, and the Bears, they may have a slight bit of hope in this game yet.
Yeah, definitely still on schedule. The Bears are going to have to do that. They're going to have to keep peppering the goal with shots. The Rhinos do a really good job of stopping the first, sometimes even the second one. But if you keep putting on that offensive pressure, assuming that you can keep the pressure in the offense and not get burnt on the defensive end, which they nearly did there. Good save by Opfu. Great save by Executor. They might be able to turn this into an offensive break. I was saying, as long as you can keep that offensive pressure up, you are most likely going to be able to score. Methonian low on boost there, which limited him just a little bit. Casey putting that one high. Obfuscurity in goal. Low boost. Passes it out to Executor. He's good at these. Goes with a little fake. Methonian put himself in the right spot. That's the great thing about this Rhino team. They seem to put themselves in the right spot nearly at all times.
Absolutely great chance. Sorry, great chance there, but not enough. The Bears need to score 4, and right now the Rhinos just keep putting up offensive pressure like that.
Oh!
And not enough of a touch from the Bears defense.
Something that I always recommend to players, make it awkward for the defense. And even though that touch by Methonian wasn't going to score maybe even the majority of the time, he made it awkward for the defense. The defense wasn't able to get the touch that they wanted, and it led to a goal. So you don't always even need to put it on target. You just need to put it in a position where it can, perhaps turn into a goal. There, the Rhinos made it tricky for the Bears, and we have another kickoff goal.
Grab your vuvuzela, ZB. It's 7-1. Oh, that's South Africa. But 7-1. Brazil time here in Champ League action.
Turn, I didn't know you were such a World Cup historian. It didn't last long because the Rhinos taking the Brazil off the board, and they are they have a 7-goal lead. Quick anecdote: during that game, I was actually in Orlando, Florida, on my honeymoon. In Orlando is a large tourist attraction for the entire world, and there was a large group of Brazilians there, and it was incredible to just watch their World Cup run and see the fans' reactions, and then to witness that in their despair when they lost to Germany. It was something else, not unlike I'm sure the Bears are feeling right now after they took game 1 and have to be a part of this onslaught from the Rhinos. They are clicking on all cylinders. 9-1, still more than a minute left in this.
I thought game 3 was going to be the biggest blowout we saw this series, but the Rhinos just keep pouring it on, and we aren't even 80% of the way through the game yet. The Rhinos, they're going to go for 10, maybe even 11 or 12. Right there it is. Oh my goodness. They are just having a fun time playing right now. Rocket League should be fun, and the Rhinos are having fun.
Yeah, it is unfortunate to see this happen, but if it's going to happen, it's going to be a team like the Rhinos. You know that they are in champ scrims almost daily, and I always tell my teams, do scrims, practice, because the more that you can build that chemistry and have that experience playing together, the more successful you are going to be. There is a goal for Executor. Not going to affect the outcome of this game, but for personal stats and for goal differential, it certainly does matter. So we will play on here in game 5, Executor getting his first goal of the game.
Yeah, Executor probably glad to get at least one, find some positive out, because I don't know if I could be able to find a positive out of this game, but at least he'll have something to go back on and be proud of.
Yeah, I know that they'll go back and review this game. There's going to be a lot of things that they'll be able to shore up, whether it's rotation or decision making or identifying mechanics that they just need to practice a little bit more. Um, but luckily for the Bears, as we've said for all teams, it's still early. They've dropped a couple series as of late, but no one's eliminated in week 2. That is the good news about MLE. That ball is going to go in for Maconian. His 5th goal, trying to match KC's 6th. Both players trying to get over 1,000 score in this one. 18 seconds left. They might just do it.
Yeah, they might. Maybe a 10 goal difference. We'll have to see. Right now it's 9, but the Rhinos, they have just looked incredible. At least the Bears, they were able to get a win this series, so already went better than their first series of the season. But a lot to work on if they want to really be a threat to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that shot looks like it might be on target. It is in. Exclamation point by KC. We do get the 10 goal differential. Dagger in the heart of the Bears. We were wondering who would win the fight, the Rhino or the Bear. Horns up, because it is the Rhinos taking the 4-1 series victory.
Horns up, magical horns up, and the Rhinos sure looked magical that game. 17 shots, and the Bears just they didn't have it. They didn't have the defense. They didn't get enough offense going, and you have to be able to stop the other team when they're pushing the ball up the field. And the Rhinos just were able to push it up with ease, and that's why they scored so much. Just
Yeah.
great performance from the Rhinos overall.
Yeah, Rhinos looks like they may be at the start of another championship run. Lots of teams in MLE, lots of good competition. So the Rhinos will have a lot of good teams to face between now and then. But that does do it for our broadcast tonight. We saw 3 great series, and we will bring 3 more series tomorrow night, same time, same place. MLE Sports GG on Twitch starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch us tomorrow night for another broadcast.